Well, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month and National Mezcal Day, which is coming up on October 21st, we are giving the classic margarita a twist with the founder of Mezcal Mezcal. This is Nelson Nieves. Nelson, thank you so much for being here. So tell us, I just received 3 bottles, and then you're at a restaurant who actually carries your spirit. So I just received 3 bottles of your mezcal. Tell me about your mezcal.
Absolutely, love to. And thank you again for the opportunity. We're here at Casa Blanca, Modern Mexican Kitchen and Tequila, local account owned by Mexican folks and bartenders from Cancun, and we figured it'd be a kind of a cool spot than have it in my office instead. But so as you can see, Mezcal is actually from the state of Durango. So most mezcals, as we know, are from, the majority of the ones that we're going to see are from Oaxaca, typical agave called an espadín. And, being a parent, child of a first generation kind of immigrant parents, my father was from Uruguay, my mother was from Cuba. My dad always used to say, better to be the head of the rat than the tail of the lion, right? And then when I decided to do this in my previous life, I was many other things. I wanted to do something a bit different, not just bring another espadín, which are amazing. Agave and Oaxaca has done a beautiful job with bringing the culture, the gastronomy to the world. But I went to the state of Durango, which is called the heart of Mexico. And unlike, I guess in the past, it's tequila and Jalisco and mariachi, but now people are recognizing the liquid culture of Mexico. Part of my story is falling in love with the process, going out to the mountains, riding horseback, donkey with the guys, 5-7 days, waking up, to being surrounded by wild cattle, coyote howling at night. So that was the kind of the essence of our brand. We wanted to keep it authentic, and premiumization is also very important, a good, clean spirit. But mezcal, again, like I said, it was one of those spirits that America wasn't drinking, right? And I said, my brother, who's my partner, my best friend, and I couldn't do this without him. And then we built an amazing team, all the way along from importers to distributors. And, you know how it is to build a company or a team, right? And Vern and I, my brother's name is Vern. We said, how do we do this, man? Like, how do we bring mezcal to the world? Because people weren't drinking mezcal. Like, I'm from Fort Myers, Florida. No one, I would go out with my little bottle, my Mexican man purse, and, hey, I got some mezcal. They're like, yeah, we're good. So, I guess they say, necessity is the mother of invention, right? We said, you know what? How do we bring it to the world, to America? And margarita being the #1 cocktail in the world for like 25, 30 years. 75% of tequila sales are driven by margaritas. It's an astronomical. I was a finance banker guy, so data to me is like powerful, right? Like that speaks to me. And if I could bring it to the world in a form that is familiar to them, phonetically it sounds the same. Every menu, regardless, has a margarita. Anywhere in the world have margaritas. So we came up with and honestly, very, very fortunate and great trademark and patent attorneys, and we were able to trademark the word mezgarita. So it's a mezcal margarita. It's a riff, like you said, on a typical margarita, very much the same. The only thing you can do is substitute tequila for the mezcal. So Hernan from Cancun, Mexico, good friends, and we're here at Casa Blanca, Modern Mexican Kitchen in Fort Myers, Florida. He's gonna show you how to make our mezgarita.
Okay, well, I want to see it. So why don't you whip one up? We have just a little bit of time left. So why don't you whip one up for me?
I'm sorry?
Let's make the mezgarita.
Yes, let's do it. Okay.
Okay, so why don't you walk me through what he's doing?
Yeah, so he's a bit of a flair bartender. He's going to put on a bit of a show.
I love it.
Up against the clock, but he's got to get it in, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah,
Okay.
so we use the Hogan. We have 3 expressions, but typically we start off with 2 ounces of mezcal. The Mezcal Joven means young. It's like a blanco or unaged in tequila. And then the other 2 expressions we have, we probably for another day, but the yellow one is aphrodisiac, and it's a silly joke, but we call it the Mexican Viagra, because in Mexico, typically the mother-in-laws will help, want their daughter-in-laws to have mezcal with them to help bring babies to the family and stuff like that. And it's very much part of the culture. Like they still drink 2 to 3 ounces every morning on an empty stomach.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got 2 ounces of mezcal, and then what else does he put in there?
Right? Yeah. Luego vamos a hacer Yeah, so lime juice, the margarita. Yeah,
1 ounce of the puree blackberry.
Oh, you're doing the cherry one.
The black cherry one.
Very cool. Okay.
And the reason we do that is just because that's it's just a little bit of a riff. Everyone knows how to make a regular regular margarita or mezgarita. Same recipe that you're probably going to follow today. The twist that we just add an ounce of black cherry puree from Real.
Very cool. Okay, so I don't have a shaker, but I'll make one too. So I've got 2 ounces of my mezcal. I've got a little bit of agave here. I don't have a shaker, but we'll make do. I've got my lime juice. And then I always like to add a little pinch of salt in there.
You know what you're doing. That's the first one you've made.
And then I'm going to top it with some ice. This looks like a beautiful cocktail. So it's oh my goodness, yours is absolutely beautiful. Well, cheers, my friend. Happy Mezcal Day. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you so much for sharing.
You so much. Thank you for giving mezcal a little bit of limelight. It's a tiny category that's growing, and really appreciate it, not just for me as a company, but for all the families and the mezcaleros out there in Mexico. Every time that the mezcal gets out, it helps the category grow, and it's done tremendous things.
Perfect.
So we really appreciate that, Emily.
Well, thank you both for being here. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Salud.
And stay right there. We are healing from within. A spiritual healer joins us in the studio after this.